Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me on today's episode. Today we're going to be taking this tree from my last video and putting it into our tree stand. I wanted to show you how I do it and try to give you some instructions as to how to make it go up and not have one of those wonderful YouTube fail videos where the tree falls over on the kids are screaming, everybody's crying, and Christmas is ruined, right? No, well, we don't want that. I want to show you how to do it the right way. Me, normally, I would go and use my chainsaw. Then it occurred to me, most of my viewers probably don't have a chainsaw. I would never prune up a Christmas tree with a chainsaw. So it would be kind of useless for me to make a DIY video on pruning up a tree with a chainsaw because you don't have one, so you're not going to watch. So I figured most of my subscribers probably have a handsaw, which you can use, and you saw me use in the last video when I cut this tree down. Anyway, with all that in mind, I decided to take a more middle-of-the-road approach and use my Sawzall. Let me show you some specifics that you want to have before you go and start pruning up this tree. First and foremost, before we get started, I want to make a point that every tree stand is different. This is the tree stand that I choose to use. This tree stand has a pocket where the tree goes, that goes all the way from the top all the way to the bottom, so it rests directly on the floor. So the actual height that you cut this tree off at is the height that it's going to be in the house. Some tree stands have the tree elevated, so it adds an extra couple, 2-3 inches to the tree, which could be a problem if you have low ceilings. So that's just a note for the side for you guys to bear in mind. Number one, you want to make sure you have a blade that's long enough to cut all the way through that tree trunk in one stroke, so that way there it's not binding up and pinching and bending. Number two, you want to make sure that you have a blade that's sharp and it has good aggressive teeth on it to take good sized bites of wood out of that tree trunk. You don't want to use a metal blade that has the fine teeth on it, otherwise you're going to be cutting on that thing forever. Alright, number three, make sure you have a good fully charged battery so it's set and ready to go. Let's get this done. So as we get started, we're going to have to prune some of these lower branches off, otherwise it's not going to stay right in the tree stand. These branches are going to be in the way and cause the tree to be lopsided. So we're going to go ahead and prune these few lower branches off before we make our final cut in the bottom. Now with those branches out of the way, we're going to go ahead and determine the depth that we want to have this trunk into that pocket in the tree stand. So let's take our tree stand and put it right up on top of our tree and make the decision where we want to cut it. How tall do we want our tree? So I'm going to take and I'm going to cut this off square right here at this little knot. Now when you're going to go and cut this, you don't want to cut top down, especially with a power saw, because if you do and you're running, it's going to cut right into the pavement and you're going to dull out the end of your saw. Me personally, I enjoy running my saw from the bottom up and out, so that way there I can see what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and elevate this a little bit with my foot, find my mark where I wanted to start cutting this, have the saw up tight against the truck, and start going. Now with that tree trunk cut off square, we are ready to go ahead and put it in the stand. We're going to go ahead and open these screws all the way up in the stand as far as we need to fit that tree in. Then we're going to slide that tree into the open pocket. Now with these support screws snug, we're going to go ahead and stand the tree up. Now with the tree in the standing and upright position, we're going to go and make sure that it's nice and square and straight in the stand. So when we take it inside, all we got to do is bring it in, set it on the floor, and cut the netting off. Let's take a look. Now this tree is ready to go inside and be set up. All we have left to do is cut the net off when we get it in the spot where we want. You should wait till you get inside to cut the net off, because once you cut the net off, the branches go and fold way out, and it's kind of hard to get through the door. It'll scratch the walls and whatnot going down the hall. So wait till you get it set up where you want it, then cut the net off. Just a quick tip for you. You should start cutting the net off at the top, because if you start at the bottom and the tree starts fanning out, you're going to have a hard time reaching over the bottom portion of the tree that's fanned out to reach the top and go ahead and cut that net off. So we're going to start up here first. Okay, the net is off. Alright guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you being here. I hope to see you soon on my next episode. Until then, bye-bye.